Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Tonight I'm going to be covering the case of Lindsay Buziak. Lindsay Buziak is, she was a beautiful girl. She was a Canadian real estate agent and she was murdered on February 2nd, 2008. I really wanted to cover this case and look further into it as I have been following it for a long time, as I do believe a lot of other people have also been following this, as it is quite baffling that this could happen to anybody. And I would like to get into it and read to you about Lindsay, and then I will ask the cards for some more information about what had happened to Lindsay. So Lindsay Buziak, who was born on November 2nd, 1983, she was a beautiful Canadian real estate agent who was murdered on February 2nd, 2008 during a property viewing in Saanich, a suburb of Victoria, British Columbia, after being lured to meet a man and a woman posing as prospective clients seeking $1 million home. The murder to this day remains unsolved. In late January 2008, Lindsay received a phone call from a woman who said that she and her husband were urgently seeking a home with a budget of $1 million. The caller had a foreign accent in which Lindsay had recounted to people that it sounded like the accent was fake. The woman offered what was later determined to be a fake name. Unnerved by the call, Buziak asked the caller how she had obtained her personal cell phone number, as she was still a relatively junior employee. The caller claimed that one of Lindsay's previous clients had shared it with her. Lindsay told her boyfriend and her father about the call and revealed her concerns. Her boyfriend encouraged her to meet with the client because of the high commission that she would earn on selling $1 million home. To reassure her, her boyfriend offered to wait outside the property in the car in case anything should go wrong. So Lindsay did go ahead and arrange an appointment with the client to view the home at 5:30 p.m. on Saturday, February 2nd, 2008. Her boyfriend offered to be there for that time and wait outside in his vehicle just to ease her mind and give her extra security. Lindsay and her boyfriend ate lunch that day at a restaurant. They paid the bill at 4:30 p.m. They then departed separately in their own vehicles, and then in which Lindsay then returned home to change her clothes before her viewing. Her boyfriend traveled to an automobile repair shop to pick up a colleague, although they were running late. CCTV footage from the auto shop does show that the colleague and her boyfriend were there at 5:30 p.m. And then her boyfriend and Lindsay had exchanged several texts, and Lindsay was aware that her boyfriend was now running late. The street where the house is located, the house that Lindsay was going to be showing, is a small cul-de-sac containing only 4 houses. Although the caller had told Lindsay that she would come alone to the viewing, neighbors or witnesses had seen Lindsay meeting with 2 people, a man and a woman, at 5:30 p.m. Witnesses saw a 6-foot-tall white man with dark hair and a blonde-haired woman between 35 and 45 years of age wearing, the woman was wearing a distinctively patterned dress, walking up the cul-de-sac. The witnesses saw Lindsay greet the couple, shake their hands, and it was in such a manner that these witnesses thought that there was no way that Lindsay knew this couple before, so that this was the first time of her meeting these 2 people. Lindsay then entered the house with the couple. Her boyfriend and his colleague arrived at the cul-de-sac at about 5:40 p.m. As they were driving to the property, her boyfriend saw a figure through the glass of the front door. He parked outside the property for about 10 minutes and then drove to another street to wait outside, as he did not want to come off as being an interfering boyfriend. After waiting another 10 minutes, her boyfriend texted Lindsay to confirm that everything was okay, in which Lindsay never opened the message and she never responded. After 20 minutes had passed since her boyfriend had arrived, and he went up to the front door. He saw a figure of two people coming out, and then they quickly went back inside. He found the door locked, and then he tried to open it, but he couldn't. And through the glass, he saw Lindsay's shoes in the entrance, but there was no sign of movement, and no one was answering his repeated knocks at the door. So he did decide to call 911. While her boyfriend was on the phone with the operator, his colleague found an opening in the fence in the backyard, and in which he found the patio door wide open. The two men entered the home, with her boyfriend going upstairs to the master bedroom, where he found Lindsay lying in a pool of blood. He called 911 a second time, and emergency services arrived soon after. Lindsay was pronounced dead when the paramedics arrived. She had been stabbed, what a lot of reports say, approximately 40 times. There were no defensive wounds, indicating that it was likely that she had been ambushed and stabbed from behind, and had no indication of what was about to happen. None of Lindsay's possessions had been stolen, and she had not been sexually assaulted. So basically, they have no motive. They don't know why they did this. Her then boyfriend and his colleague were taken into custody. They were released without charge, as their version of events were verified and time-stamped by the surveillance footage from the auto shop, proving that they could not have committed the murder. Her boyfriend has also been interviewed several times over the years. He's always cooperated with police, and he has also passed a polygraph test. Because the crime scene yielded no DNA, no fingerprints, or any other physical evidence, it is believed that the murder was well organized and executed by people who had killed before. The police believe that the killers were leaving through the back door the front door, when her boyfriend arrived at the property, and so that's why they fled out the back door. And they do believe that they had been parked on another street behind the home, as they did see an opening through the fence leading out to the back alley. This scenario is consistent with the witnesses' statements that the unknown couple were walking and not driving up the cul-de-sac. The cell phone used by the unknown woman to call Lindsay was purchased in Vancouver several months before the murder, and had never been used until the call was placed, and was never used again. It was just used to call Lindsay, and it was activated under the name of Paulo Rodriguez, which authorities consider to be a very fake name. Authorities do believe the phone was used for the sole purpose of the murder and was discarded afterward, which supports their theory that the murder had been carefully planned. There's been a lot of speculation of theories of people these theories of who could have done this. I'm not going to get into that. You can always look it up online to find out the theories of who might have done this to her. But this case, as I mentioned, is still unsolved. So nobody knows for a fact who orchestrated this against Lindsay. In February of each year, Lindsay's father, Jeff, leads an annual walk in remembrance of her and to keep her case alive in the public eye, which I think is so important. And yeah, this case is just baffling. There was a release of documents in 2020 revealing that police had been aware of two phones actually used by the suspects, one with a Vancouver number only used to contact Lindsay, and another used to check the voicemail of the first phone. The information revealed there had been unusual internet activity associated with Buziak before her murder. In February of 2021, Saanich police announced that advancements in DNA analysis and other technology had created new leads in this case. This, as mentioned, has never been solved, and I really want to ask the cards tonight for some insight into this case. of why this happened and information of who potentially could have orchestrated this against Lindsay Buziak. All right, so I'm just going to shuffle these cards, and I'm just going to ask for one card only to fall out or pop out as it may. Who orchestrated this murder or this hit against Lindsay Buziak? Who orchestrated this? Who orchestrated this hit against Lindsay Buziak? One card only, let it fall out or pop out as it may. Who orchestrated this? Show me in a photo, or give me information in a card. There's the card. So this card is of who orchestrated this to happen to Lindsay. Wow, okay. So it's the Page of Wands. This is a very fiery energy. And the interesting part of this is pages are always messengers. So I see it as somebody that sent a message for this to happen, which makes sense that this is who orchestrated it. I don't want to get too into the physicality. I just want to say it's potential that this was a woman. This is how I would see it, that this was a woman that orchestrated it. A fiery woman. That's how I would see this. So a fiery woman sent out a message for this to happen. It's like a lot of passion here. A lot of passion. I'm going to just see what's on the bottom of the deck. The Lover's card. This could be someone that potentially was a romantic partner of Lindsay's. I will say, I do believe this was close to home for her. I don't want to say anything to put blame on anyone if it wasn't. I just want to say that this is who orchestrated it. And there's a possibility it has to do with her love life. Now, whether that's a current partner or it was a current partner, or whether it's someone from her past, it gives me a feeling that at the very least, this was somebody that she knew personally that did this to her. And again, I don't want to go out on a limb and say this was a current boyfriend, a past boyfriend, but I will say this is the one who orchestrated it. It was, in my mind, I would go as far as saying I think it was a woman that orchestrated the actual thing, but that there could be some kind of connection to her romantic life. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to ask, let's leave that card out. I'm going to ask one more question on this this sad case of Lindsay Buziak. Why was this orchestrated? Why did they want to do this to Lindsay? Why did they do this to Lindsay Buziak? What was the reason behind orchestrating this horrific crime against Lindsay? Okay. So I got the Knight of Cups. So I asked why they did this. I see a lot of emotion in this. There was a lot of emotion. I think there was a lot of emotion behind doing this. I don't know if maybe they didn't, or I don't know why I'm saying they, but it almost seems like there's obviously more than one person here. And maybe there had been some back and forth on doing this, and maybe a lot of emotion of someone maybe not wanting to do it that was a part of this. But when I'm asking why, and you see this this hawk coming up, it's almost like a messenger. It's almost like someone was told something. Maybe they found something out about Lindsay. Maybe she knew something. But I feel like there's a lot of emotion, and that would tie in with the Page of Wands being very passionate. I feel like there was a lot of emotion behind this decision to do this. And then at the bottom of the deck is the Seven of Swords, which is like betrayal, sneakiness. You know, being betrayed. And that goes back to, I feel like this was somebody that that was fairly close to her, or she had a fairly deep connection because of the cups. The cups is emotion. And I do feel like there was, you know, potentially a few people that were making this decision. And they were like waiting. They were waiting. So maybe there was disagreements about this and a lot of emotion behind it. But as you can see, it's like the betrayal. So I asked why. I asked why that this happened to her. Maybe she was in too deep about something. Like maybe she had heard something, maybe she was in too deep. It's not very clear of why they did this. I'm going to pull one more card just to see if I can get a little more clarity on the Knight of Cups. I usually just leave it to the two cards, but I'm kind of intrigued of this Knight of Cups. So let's just get one more card to clarify, why did these people or this person orchestrate this murder against Lindsay Buziak? Why did they orchestrate this? What was the reasoning? Let one card fall out. The Four of Swords. I really feel like she knew something. They did not want her to talk. As you can see in the photo, it's like it's about something about, like, I'm going by the imagery of this. Sometimes this can be, you know, taking a pause in something. Sometimes this can be, you know, just taking a break from a situation. But I feel like by me asking why they did this to Lindsay, I truly believe by the imagery, they did not want her to speak. There was something that she knew that they did not want out there. And I stick by that. It's not being very specific of what it was, and I don't know if I really want to go that deep into it. I will say there was something that she could have said, and they went back and forth on this, or there was a lot of emotion behind deciding to do this to her. And again, the bottom of the deck, the Strength, where she's keeping the alligator's mouth closed. So I feel very certain that it was something that this person, this woman, did not want spoken about. Now, I'm going to pull one last card because I would like to know what did these people not want Lindsay to speak about? What did these people not want, or this person not want Lindsay to speak about? One card, let it fall out. What did this person or people not want Lindsay to speak about? What was it? Give a description. Okay, so 2 cards came out. Again, the Queen of Wands now is at the bottom. Like I say, this is a fiery woman. And again, I do feel like she's the one that orchestrated this. The 3 of Cups and the 2 of Cups. There was some type of partnership. I feel like whoever this person that orchestrated it, this is the 3 of Cups, like community, people getting together. This is like partnership. Again, 2 of Cups could be a romantic thing, but it could also be some type of partnership. I feel like Lindsay knew something in a group setting. Maybe she heard something in a group setting, or she found something out about a certain partnership. Because these people are, it's like a get together and then there's a partnership. It's a get together and a partnership. And then this woman, this Queen of Wands, and like I pulled before, the Page of Wands, this woman keeps appearing. She's a fiery woman. A fiery woman that, in my opinion, orchestrated this. So Lindsay knew something, whether it was through a setting of maybe being around people and she found something out and she shouldn't have. And it could be to do with some type of partnership. All right, I'm going to end this reading there. As that's as deep as I'm going to go today. And I just really hope that Lindsay does get the justice that she deserves, the justice that her family deserves after all these years. And my thoughts and prayers are with her and her family for justice and peace. And I really hope that this case one day is solved. So that's all for tonight. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you again for the next case that I end up covering. Have a great evening, take care, and be well.